Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about the amazing Lana Del Rey. This one was requested by one of the subscribers to make a video about Lana Del Rey and how she can be a very interesting representation of femininity. And I thought that was a really good suggestion, and I hope you guys will enjoy this video. Lana Del Rey, I think, represents a very interesting type of femininity. When I think of Lana, I think of the Enigma as a feminine archetype. So if you don't know what a feminine archetype is, it's the different types of feminine roles we can play. I think we all have different feminine roles within us, but there is one or two of them that we really dive into and that we really work from and adapt to our persona and our personality. There's 13 feminine archetypes recognized by Aisha K. Fines. I think she's pretty much the pioneer when it comes to understanding feminine archetypes. And she's already nailed down 13 different ones. And I'll link down all of this down below if you want to read more about the different archetypes. But I will definitely go through them as well on my channel just as an introduction. And going back to Lana, there is an archetype called the Enigma archetype, which is a form of feminine role where the focus is on your creativity. So think of the people in your life who's very artistic. I think that's one of the most recognizable ways to find out if someone is the Enigma. And with that being said, I think Lana definitely is an interesting character or an interesting person to dissect because throughout her musical eras, she's definitely switched between her feminine archetypes. I can definitely say that her persona in Born to Die, for instance, that musical era, is very different from her recent. Did you know there was a tunnel under Ocean Boulevard? She has definitely tapped into very different types of feminine archetypes throughout her musical career. And I think that's so interesting to see because once again, she proves that we all as women have all of these feminine archetypes within us. And it's all about trying to tap into them when we feel the need to have them surface. So I think that's exactly what Lana really shows, and she does in a very delicate way, which I think is very tasteful. And obviously we can't talk about all of the archetypes today because there's so much to go through. So that's why I thought the Enigma might be really interesting to look at first. It's this type of feminine archetype is very driven by their emotions. So they're very honest and they're very vulnerable in their emotions. And I think that's one of the biggest things that separate them from a lot of the other feminine archetypes. It's your feelings being one of the most driving forces in your life, and you're not shying away from them. You're not scared of them. Actually, you welcome them as they're your friends. You hug them and you take them in, you feel them, and whatever you do afterwards is what's up to you. And I think that's literally Lana Del Rey's whole discography is all about. It's about taking whatever she's feeling in the moment, writing them down, putting them out in the world, and then moving on to her next chapter. And as women, I feel like that is something we could take with us. Don't just take your emotions and not deal with them, but instead find something creative and find something productive to express those emotions, and then move on to the next feminine journey you want to go on. So the Enigma recognizes the strength in having emotions, and doesn't shy away from them, as I said before. And also another thing is inner peace is usually the most important goal in the Enigma's life. So creating this inner peace within yourself is a really important thing for the Enigma. For trying to really understand your feelings, but also being at peace with them, and then trying to have this inner peace within yourself, especially when there's chaos around you and just out in the world. You can look inwards towards yourself and you can find that peace and that solid ground to feel comfortable to just walk through life without being affected by all of the negativity and the chaos. And that's really what the Enigma, I feel like, is all about. It's just trying to find this inner peace and trying to be very comfortable with it and creating it and protecting it. And then I feel like Lana is very, very much all about that. One thing I really like about her is that she's a human before she's a famous figure. I know so many artists that can, when you first think of them, you think of their famous personas. You think of them as this out of world character, something you can't really relate to because they're so big, and it's really hard to see them past just being a famous person. But one thing I've always been fascinated about Lana is she's not like that. She's always given this grounded energy about herself. Definitely at least the last couple of years, she gives us this grounded, very down to earth type of energy with herself. She's not trying to be this famous figure anymore. She's herself, and if you don't like it, that's your problem. But she's going to continue to put in that work and put in incredible music because that's her journey in life. And if other people don't understand that, that's not really her job to make them either. If you get her message and if you get her music, that's amazing. But if you don't, she's not going to put an effort to make you understand it or anything like that. So I love that it shows the type of self-respect, and that you know your work is good, and if other people don't recognize it, that's their problem. But you still create quality work so that the ones that appreciate it know the quality you're giving out. And that's exactly what I feel like Lana does. And she's always been one of those artists who's not scared to express her emotions and being authentic. She definitely talks about topics that a lot of other artists are not comfortable with, but she does that, but more in a feminine way, in a very tasteful way, and it's interesting and it's unique, and it's her just being herself, and you can feel the authenticity, and that really shows that Enigma character what it means. Translated in the way that she doesn't seem like she looks for fame or isn't attention seeking, which I think are all very toxic feminine energy, is seeking attention from people. But she goes the other direction. She's very healthy feminine. She doesn't seek attention. An interesting example of that is one day she can be at the Grammys and the next day she's working in a diner somewhere in America. And I think that's like very goes to show that she's not really doing this for the fame. She's doing this because of the experiences, that she's doing this because this is the life she wants. She wants her music, she wants her art, and then she's on her own journey. And I love that. Lana always talks about personal freedom, which can definitely be seen in the Enigma character, is very important. Personal freedom, being able to choose to do what you want and not being confined by what everybody else is saying you should do. And I think that's very important in a feminine journey in general. Don't let society's rules dictate how you're gonna live your life. If you know it's going to make you happy and it's not going to hurt other people, then go ahead and do it, because at the end of the day, if you don't seek personal freedom, you'll always be in imprisonment. And I think that's really interesting to see, because as women, we have these unwritten rules since we were children probably, that are so specific to only women but not men. And it's so great to see a person like Lana kind of defying those rules, a lot of them at least, and doing that, but in such a feminine way. It's not vulgar the way she does it, it's not aggressive, but it's just through her expressing her femininity and being a woman and not being afraid to talk about the female experience is in itself such an inspiration. And I think that's what she really does, and that kind of embodies the whole Enigma archetype, is personal freedom and not being afraid to express it, but also in a feminine way where it's not threatening as well, but it's just being authentic. So I think that's beautiful. And also, the thing about Lana is she's very willing to learn and continue to change herself throughout her eras. I think she's very adaptable to change, because if you see her Born to Die era, it's so different from her Ultraviolence era. And I think that also like kind of show how you have to be able to be adaptable to change. Don't be static. Don't just sit and let the world do whatever it wants, and you being so stubborn to change, because change is always going to happen. That's one of the most certain things about life, is that change is going to come. But if you're adaptable to that change and you accept it, it's going to be a lot more easier for you to kind of go through it and do it in a very graceful way. When you experience the world's challenges, but you take them with a smile and in a very classy way, you will see how that kind of, instead of it being feeling like it's your downfall, it actually becomes a way for you to gain more strength, because you've learned how to be adaptable, you've learned how to be okay with change. And Lana really embodies that, because all of her musical eras have been changes, all about being adaptable to change. And I think that's beautiful. I think in a feminine journey, you have to be adaptable to change, because you will learn new things about yourself, things that might surprise you, and you have to be okay with those changes and surprises, or else you will never learn, you will never grow. And also, one thing about Lana is her feminine image is, I feel like, very noticeable. She has always been about big hair, glamour makeup, her nails done, dresses on stage. And obviously it can be different from her everyday life if you see like her paparazzi pictures, but I think at the end of the day, when she enters that stage, you can tell that she's really put in that effort, really put in that effort to look nice, to be put together. I think one of her shows, she was like a couple of hours late because her hair wasn't done. And I think that's, obviously we could argue about it not being nice to the people waiting for her, of course. But if I'm looking at it from like a feminine perspective, it just shows us that she really values her look, her image. She knows that other people are here to see her. The least she could do is look the part. And not come on stage with this crazy hair or like looking like she didn't care. No, she cares about her image. She cares about looking feminine and looking like she took care of herself, because being presentable is really important in life. Even if you're the biggest artist in the world, looking presentable really shows other people that you care what they think, and you want to make them feel like, I thought about you, and that's why I showed up so presentable. So just caring about your appearance, just in the smallest sense, can make the biggest difference for your image. One thing I like about Lana is, if you look at her interviews, which I don't think there's a lot of them, but she's very soft-spoken and she's very delicate in her manner, and she's that person, and she's not gonna change just to make other people like her more. So I hope you guys enjoyed my video, and I'm so excited to make more videos in the future as well. Please comment, like, subscribe, and share. And please let me know also, what's your favorite Lana Del Rey song or album? I think my favorite is Norman effing Rockwell. I think that one is one of the best she's made. So yeah, definitely let me know down below, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye.